It all began on a chilly November evening when Mark received a text message from his wife, Lisa, that would change his life forever. "I'm not coming home tonight," the message read. "We need to talk, but not now. I'll explain everything later." Mark stared at his phone, his heart sinking. For months, their marriage had been strained. Late nights at work, distant conversations, and the growing sense that something was amiss. But this message confirmed his worst fears. Lisa wasn't just working late. She was with someone else. He decided not to reply. Instead, Mark set his phone down and took a deep breath. Anger, betrayal, and heartbreak coursed through him. But he wasn't the type to act impulsively. If Lisa was indeed betraying him, he would make sure he handled it on his terms. Over the next few days, Mark played the role of the unsuspecting husband. He kept his interactions with Lisa light, even as she continued her late nights and vague excuses. Meanwhile, he hired a private investigator to gather proof of her infidelity. Within a week, the investigator delivered a folder of photos and text message transcripts that left no doubt. Lisa was seeing her coworker, Tom. Mark's initial reaction was devastation. He had loved Lisa deeply, and the betrayal cut him to his core. But once the tears dried, his sadness morphed into determination. If Lisa wanted out of their marriage, he would grant her wish, but not without a twist she'd never forget. Mark spent the next month meticulously planning his revenge. He was careful not to let on that he knew about Lisa's affair. On the surface, everything seemed normal. They still had dinner together, attended social events, and exchanged the occasional pleasantry. But behind the scenes, Mark was putting his plan into action. First, he began preparing for their inevitable divorce. Mark, a successful software engineer, had always been the primary breadwinner, while Lisa worked part-time. Knowing the legal system favored transparency, he started organizing his finances, ensuring all assets were properly documented. He also discreetly transferred his most valuable possessions, like his rare coin collection and family heirlooms, to a secure storage unit. Next, he decided to make a statement. Mark sold their house, a property he had owned before their marriage, without Lisa's knowledge. He knew she would be furious, but it was his name on the deed, and he was well within his rights. He rented a stylish downtown apartment and moved in quietly, leaving the marital home sparsely furnished and eerily empty. The final piece of the puzzle was a farewell gesture. Mark arranged a dinner party to celebrate their anniversary, inviting close friends and family. Lisa seemed surprised but didn't object, likely relieved that Mark hadn't discovered her secret. On the evening of the party, Mark gave a heartfelt toast. "Thank you all for being here to celebrate this milestone," he began, raising his glass. "Lisa and I have had our ups and downs, but tonight I want to focus on gratitude. For the lessons, the memories, and, most importantly, the truth." Lisa shifted uncomfortably in her seat, sensing something was off. Mark continued, pulling out a manila envelope. "Lisa, this is for you. It's everything you've been looking for, and more." Inside was the evidence of her affair, along with divorce papers and a detailed list of everything Mark had done to protect himself financially. Lisa's face turned ghostly pale as she flipped through the documents. Gasps filled the room as guests pieced together what was happening. Mark ended his toast with a smile. "I wish you and Tom all the happiness in the world. You're going to need it." Lisa's world crumbled that night. Mark's calculated moves left her with nothing. No house, no financial safety net, and no sympathy from friends or family. As for Mark, he walked away from the marriage with his dignity intact and a newfound sense of freedom. In the months that followed, Mark rebuilt his life. He found solace in his work, traveled to places he'd always dreamed of, and even adopted a rescue dog to keep him company. Lisa, meanwhile, discovered that her relationship with Tom was far from the fairy tale she had imagined. Mark's revenge wasn't just about exposing Lisa's betrayal. It was about reclaiming his power and proving that he wouldn't be defined by her actions. In the end,